two culture at the same time.
Now, we talked about this on the show before, right? We've got fresh, that's a nice pound-and-a-half lobster, right? And then, we've got this is a female lobster, right? Because it's got soft over here. We want to make sure that they're lively and fresh and they're alert. No dead lobsters going in there. Hard shell, right? All right, Steve, throw them in there. Let's see what we're all about.
While he's cooking away back there, I'm gonna make a seasoning mix with some salt and these spices from your local grocery store.
Yum, that sounds great.
Keep stirring away back.
Hey! Yeah! Brother R.A. in the house. Okay, so, what I say? This is Brother R.A. in the house, and if you're out there, and you my friend, and you listening, and you want to call in, you can do that now, and listen or participate however you wish to do it. 617-876-0055, 617-876-0055, and bam, there's Brother R.A. Oh my goodness, I'm so embarrassed. I have new friends watching, and I have a tooth missing. Oh well, that's what happens when you ride your bike and you fall on your face. Hey, can y'all see my Alvin Ailey dance shirt with the big fat gut? Oh, I'm filling it out. Yeah, I'm recording. I'm doing what I need to do. 5:31, 43 seconds. And today there will be member appreciation. That means me. I'm a member of CCTV, Cambridge Community Television, and the appreciation will be happening next door at the Middle East. Yes, I'll be going next door after my show to be appreciated for, I'm just one of the many, because there are a few of y'all out there, but I've been doing my show since 1992. That's right. And Brother R.A. since 1992. Now, let's go to the other issues at hand. And, yeah. I haven't been feeling too well, or it's just been a tumultuous time. I've just been thinking about this and that, and not too many people are concurring or agreeing, or I just feel mighty alone at times, and it's not a bad thing. It's okay just to go, and acknowledge the whole universe resides on my inside. And whether you like to concur or agree with me or not, I am you, you are me. And it is written, it's written in one of them books, like that one there, Oh yeah, my slave name there at the bottom. I'm just Brother R.A. now, but yeah, that kind of book is set up to divide and conquer and separate, but in that book, it does say, I am that I am. So, I am that I am. Regardless of the miseducation, the misinformation, the lack of self-esteem, the lack of the insertion of hate, and all of the diabolical schemes of this and that to get you not to be able to look in the mirror and say, I am divine energy. And let it resonate and feel good about who you are and what you're doing. Is there right? Is there wrong? Is there good? Is there a bad? As long as you believe in you, Okay. Yeah, you can do that. Hey, call me now. Call now. 617, oops, type right. 617-876-0055. And you can participate in this conversation. This is, here, let me, before I even go to her, let's make this statement. Bam! Okay, so this is the female version of Brother R.A. With Christianity, religions, and women valuing dead slaveholders, is it too much for me to ask for my mate to look into the mirror and see their divine energy, acknowledge they are a child of the S-U-N and not the S-O-N, and know their ancestors were taken off their track, and now we value pictures of our dead enslavers on cotton fibers and wood chips, as opposed to valuing our ability to see all the universe within ourselves and not choosing to value the energy. No, but we choose to value the energy outside of ourselves and not within ourselves. I'm asking for too much perfection, huh? Asking for a black woman, Mother Nature. All big heads on the planet Earth came from a black woman originally. Whether you agree to that or not, the Earth's axis was straight up and down until Mars and Venus almost collided and tilted the Earth's axis, created some cold, dark, overcast environments, and we as black people started to inbreed. So whether you're black or white, you originally came from a black person, and white people are the inbreeding of black people. Okay, here we go, on the phone. Welcome to BrotherRA.com right here on cctvcambridge.org. Welcome. What you got to say to Brother R.A.?
Hey, Brother R.A. It's CairoQween. How are you?
Oh, my goodness, the CairoQween. Okay, come with it. What's your thoughts or reactions to what I'm saying on the air?
Well, actually, I wanted
Go ahead.
I wanted to tell you I couldn't find what you were talking about, so I'm calling in to listen. So give me a second and I can react.
Take your time. Now, for those that are doing like she's doing that can't find us, it's cctvcambridge.org, and
that's why.
when you get to that website page here, I'll show you. That's my Facebook page. But when you get to Cambridge Community Television, then you select Channel 9, and that's where, can you see where the pointer is? I'm pointing not Channel 8 and not Channel 96, but Channel 9. And once you hit that, boom, it'll bring you here. Now, I don't want to do that, but not Channel 96, but Channel 9. And once you hit that, boom. Yeah, it'll bring you here. So I got feedback, so I have to get off of that page. Let me go back. And so, yeah, there you go. That's how, if you are now watching from another city or you're within the city and you've been wondering how to do that, that's what you do. So now I'm here on the website page. Once again, this is BrotherRA.com. That's my lovely page, and dealing with the media, all various forms of media. And here is A squared plus B squared equals C squared. The parents of a child, the father, the vertical line, the mother, the horizontal line, and the area of A and the area of B equal the area of C. And so that's who we are as humanity. And so even back in our ancestral times, prior to the Greco-Roman times, we knew about A squared plus B squared equaling C squared. The whole background of the parent, of the mother, the whole background of the father combined and made the child. So that's why that symbol is there on my website. Now, I'm here on this particular page, my Facebook page, and I'm sharing, sitting back and not finding many people who are capable of understanding A squared plus B squared equals C squared, or not capable of comprehending they are the universe and look in the mirror and see that you're God. There are not many black women that will, many people are acknowledging that, oh, I need to submit to an energy outside of myself. I need to submit to a white, male, militaristic, chauvinistic, sexist, preferential little wee-wee God. Why do we feel... I'm sorry, CairoQween, do you have something to say?
I do. I have a little bit of feedback, but, you know, it's funny that you said that because this is something that I talk about often.
Yeah.
Which, of course, is that obtuse triangle and, of course, the founding principles of mankind, which is mankind, man, human, man, woman, and child.
Mm-hmm.
So
human.
the backbone principle of your community, man, woman, and child, which is actually the family unit. And if people understand, when you look at this, and you understand, okay, so why is the world falling apart? Well, your foundation is broken. Oops. And if you look in, and I like to dig into Jay-Z a lot. So in my book, Powerful Words, authored by CairoQween, I have a segment that actually is dedicated to Jay-Z, because Jay-Z is actually a very and highly intelligent man. He did an album, and it had 3 stripes on it. And people were like, you know, what was the 3 stripes about? And he did an interview. And in the interview, he said, well, that was the foundation. That was the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And people didn't understand what he was talking about. So, you know, of course, they were like, well, yeah, you know, Mary, Jesus, Joseph. You know, of course, it's Isis, Osiris, and Ra. You know, Isis, Osiris, and Horus. Or it was, you know, whoever, you know. But in reality, conceptually, the principle of 3, mother, father, and son, is the beginning of everything.
Absolutely.
Because without woman, there can be no child or no man, of course. And then without the unity of a man and a woman, there can be no child, so there's no future. And without a future, there's no tomorrow. So the founding principle of everything has to rest on the family. Now, objectively, the whole entire world has driven a wedge between the African-American man and the African-American woman in order not to create a future. But, of course, we all seem to be able to do that anyway. But the strength of your community is actually on the backbone of the family. So, of course, with the amount of single women walking around without fathers and without their husband and without their guardian, without their protector, without their knight, without their, you know, their power force in their home, you know, men and women are both out of order. So just like anything else that is supposed to be in balance, like positive and negative, in and out, up and down, there has to be the balance of man and woman. So in order to throw the world into chaos, what's the first thing that you do? You drive a wedge between the foundation of life.
Christianity. No, I'm sorry. Go ahead, sister. Go ahead.
No, that was what I was just. That was my response, because I mean, I understood when I saw the triangle, because I like I said, I talk about this a lot of times. People don't understand that. You know, people think, okay, well, it's cool to sleep around. Okay, well, back in Africa, we used to do this. And I'm like, okay, you didn't adopt everything from Africa, so don't pick and choose. Kind of like when people quote the Bible and they say, well, the Bible said, but you didn't read the rest of it. You didn't quote the whole thing. So if you're going to pick one part, deal with the whole part. And to understand that your foundational principle is the unity between man, woman, and child. Now, people will say, well, we had community. And I think it was, what was that man's name? Terrell... I can't remember, McKenna. Okay, so he talked about the African community where everything was communal. And yes, there was a point, I believe, at which in our history things were communal, but there was understanding then. And of course, we had to separate due to the earth being cursed and there being drought. So people took then to the fact that there was somebody who was a breadwinner. And of course, the breadwinner would go and provide for the woman and child that he created. And that was his property, and that was his household to take care of. And so for all the women that he took care of, people say, well, you know, some men have multiple husbands, and I mean, some men have multiple wives, and so they're able to provide, okay. That's set up intentionally in culture because the woman would pick her sister wives who would provide what she needed for support for his household. Okay, so the household that she ran. So when you look and you understand there's still a force between the unit of man and woman and the production of the child, and people look and they say, okay, well, I'm really about to break some people's hearts in a second. They talk about the unification of marriage being some kind of holy structure. It's a business agreement. Where in fact, when you look at people who are like Solomon, there's an agreement, it's a unified force, there's a structure, there's something in place there intentionally because there's something that comes out of it. Solomon, in the Bible, he married 700 women, he had 1,000 concubines, right? People say, oh, Solomon was a businessman. Solomon, in order to gain dominion and to become the principality, he actually married into different kingdoms. And so he took command over the kingdoms with the 700 different wives that he had who happened to be princesses. So then he also created a legion of family members amongst these women and had children with them, and their maidservants. So he had concubines. So this was, of course, to increase his territory. So this was a strategic business move. And we look and we say, okay, foundationally, though, we are out of balance. And I look and I say, you know, well, we've driven this wedge between men and women, and I blame the people who pushed Beyonce, especially all the men who were just like excited about that independent woman cause, the men who are now fighting the fact that everything is feminist. So I look and I say, when you were pushing that concept, because a lot of men got lazy with the fact that, okay, well, yeah, I like my woman to be independent. No, you don't. Because I got friends now, and their wives are leaving them because they got so independent. They don't need them anymore. And so what's happened is you've thrown the world out of balance because you got these super strong women which have now created these weak images of men.
Wow.
And so for all these women who don't care, they don't care about men anymore. They don't need them. They haven't thought that they needed them for a long time. So they're starting to step away from men. And so you look and you say, okay, so what's the problem with that? Well, because we need each other, we're out of order. And so when you look and you have a weakened man, you have a weakened community because the man is needed to be the standing, and I can even say this, even in a feminist community, women look to men to be the strong figure. That's why they run after those pastors at churches.
Okay.
If you look at any structure of a church, you'll never find a church that's all male. You'll find a church that's functionally supported by women.
Okay.
Think about that.
So
because not to take over. I'm sorry. I talk a lot.
You should see me over here. I got my feet on the desk. I'm laid back, sister. You go ahead and preach to the audience. CairoQween, the author of Powerful Words. Don't play with us because we don't play. Hey, we're talking about there's a balance. There's a yin and yang. There's a male and female energy. Just like in the first eye or the pineal gland, we as a community, back when the Earth's axis was originally up and down, we as melanin dominant people coexisted peacefully within our environment. And then things changed. And like she said, you can't find a church with all just dudes. And if there was a church with all just dudes, I know somebody be walking around, that must be a gay church. All guys go to that church. But no, the foundation of the church needs the woman's energy, the woman's strength, for all of us emanated from the woman's womb. We all came from mommy. Yes, you agree?
Indeed.
Oh, I forgot I forgot, you're listening, and I forgot there's maybe a 3 or 4 second delay in time response, but CairoQween, you're a powerful sister, so please let the audience know when we can possibly have you on again, and we can discuss more of these very delicate issues within the black community. Now, let me ask you this. Do you find that black people don't have a higher level of self-esteem or self-confidence, especially because of Christianity? Christianity teaches you are a sinner and you need the blood of Jesus Christ to save your soul. Do you think that eschews black psychology or black self-confidence, black self-esteem, black energy?
Well, I think what's happened over the course of thousands of years is that we have been brainwashed via our DNA, and we've been brainwashed via experience, and we've gone through what I like to liken to boot camp of the military. Whenever a soldier goes into boot camp, of course, they get brainwashed. So they send them into a process by which they have to forget that they are individual and they have to become a group. And so when they come out of the military, they have to readjust to, civilian life. And, of course, there's not that big process that they go through for 9 months of training to come back into civilian life. And so what's happened is you had an entire nationality of people, an entire origin of people who were traded into slavery, whether we did it or not. We were traded into slavery. We were then sold against our own will. We have that in our history, and we're ever reminded of it almost daily. So we've had movies that come out on a regular basis. We don't have anything that ever talks about the future of African Americans, if you ever noticed that. We don't have anything that talks about the prosperity and progress of African Americans, but we do have everything that you ever need to be reminded of that talks about the illness that has happened within our community, the history of negative thoughts and our poor history and our history that tore us apart and the history that broke us down. We're ever reminded of that on a regular basis. So the brainwashing is no longer there, but the mental image is always going to be there until we tear it down. And so we have to consistently look to say, we're not the underdog, we are the overachiever. So to understand, when we talk about things like white privilege, there's nobody that's told us we don't have a black privilege. For some reason or another, we collectively assume that we don't have that because they have it, and they haven't given us the invitation to it. We collectively assume that there is somebody who is holding us down, and there is nobody who physically comes and holds us down from anything. My thought is, why haven't we gotten together to take the energy that we have and do our own thing? Skip what they're doing. Skip their invitation.
Reach.
Stop waiting on them.
Absolutely.
And just go. And stop being afraid. We are the scaredest people on the face of the planet. And what I honestly believe when I look and I see all these Caucasians who are inflating their behinds with silicone and the fat from somebody else's body, and they're stealing our skin, and they're really, they say the best form of flattery is mockery, right? So to look and to understand, right, to look and, not mockery, I'm sorry, mimicking, for somebody to act like you is a great flattery to you. It's a great compliment. The best form is to replicate what it is that you're doing. That's a great way to say, okay, well, I really like that. If you understand and you look and you say the great creations of the earth, music, music that is made by our hands, things that have come from our people, from our souls, you know, everything from music to food, you know, things that go viral, information that goes viral, things that have transcended time, you know, our skin, our melanin. You know, this is something that's widely coveted after. And in fact, there's a science that was actually named after the place in which we come from. Chemistry, named for Kemet, the original name of Africa. So when you look and you go and you understand that is the world saying, you know what, you guys did it right. But the thing is, somewhere along the line, somebody got jealous, and they didn't like the fact that this story was only one-sided. And so they flipped the story around. And so now our identity is lost in the flipping of the story, because what happens is our power was never lost. We never lost power. There are more African Americans, there are more people of color, there are more human on the face of this planet than there are people who don't have hue. As a matter of fact, they only represent 10% of the population.
Absolutely. Hey.
And I'm not talking about black supremacy. I'm not talking about eliminating white people. What I'm saying is, why not utilize what we are and take it, make it move collectively together and do our own thing?
Absolutely. And CairoQween, I have to cut you off there. I have about 1 minute left. Girlfriend, you took over. Worship and honor a black woman. Absolutely. Now, I can't wait to send you a copy of this DVD so you can see the visual of what we did together. But thank you so much for calling in and participating in the show and sharing of your consciousness, your value, your divinity, and our energies uniting through the space and time. So thank you all for tuning in to BrotherRA.com right here on cctvcambridge.org, and be looking for CairoQween again, and be looking for her book, Powerful Words, authored by CairoQween.